Reading is for Cancer for the rest of April. I'm gonna start off with the Dark Goddess. So I know April already started, so the full moon is this Saturday, I believe. So anything that wants to come out for the full moon as well. I'll do a collective full moon reading later, but this is for Cancer for the remainder of April, right? See what message wants to come through for Cancer. Isis healing. Wow. So maybe you're in need of some healing right now. Isis healing. And the honorable mention, fortitude. Oya. So I'm gonna read healing. Maybe I'll read a little bit of the fortitude one, right? Or you already know what fortitude means, then but let me read Isis. Healing. Myth. Isis is the Egyptian goddess of magic and healing. She is a complex and multifaceted goddess. Isis is known as a divine mother and is often depicted as a nursing mother or pregnant. She is a protector of mothers and children who taught women how to weave, bake, and make beer. She is the mistress of magic who knows all and can do all. People look to her for miracles and spells to help them in their daily lives. Isis has the ability to heal and bring souls back to life, and she welcomes the dead to the afterlife. I don't know why, I just felt like this whole thing in my heart, like kind of wow. So I don't know, it's pretty interesting. You are entering a period of healing, hope, and rest. This is a time of significant personal growth as you are doing the work of healing old wounds. You have passed through a terrible challenge in your life, but you survived without losing hope. Now these issues are behind you, and it's time to embrace this peaceful place with an open heart. Ah, see, I was feeling the heart. With Isis guidance, anything is possible, and magic is flowing all around you. So that's pretty interesting, right? So maybe a significant wound that affected your heart is taking place, right? So I guess it's a good time for healing that. So I mean, I would say surrender to the healing, right? Like don't fight it. I'll just read the meaning of the fortitude. Meaning, what storm is raging in your life? Look to Oya to give you the fortitude to survive this particular downpour. Channel your inner warrior to give you the stamina and courage to get through this challenge. Your determination and resilience in the face of adversity will restore harmony soon. This low point is temporary and a new dawn will break through these dark clouds soon. Right? So have the fortitude, maybe the healing. Because sometimes, to heal, like things have to come up, right? Obviously. And I've experienced that. There were things that I would have never imagined coming up during the eclipses. So, sometimes it's like that, right? Things need to come up, old wounds, and that's how you're able to release and heal, right? So maybe you're going through a similar thing, but the overall energy is healing, right? So for the rest of April, maybe you're literally, I mean, hey, it's the first and we're still in Aries season, which is the first sign of the zodiac, right? Like there's some cultures that celebrate the new year beginning on spring, right? In spring. So technically this is a new year. Wow, this is weird that this was in there flipped upside down. I kind of want to take it because I don't know. It feels like this was important, right? So I got the world. I don't know. It's really interesting that it was mixed in there like that. The world, right? 21, the last card of the whole um of the whole fool's journey, right? The world. Conclusion, completion, karmic lesson, success, level up, achievement, knowledge, right? And you have all the fixed signs, right? Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio. Man, I wish I had my other deck because I love the symbolism, right? There's so much symbolism in the original um world, right? It's the woman with the two, the two like wands in her hand. Um, and it has the eagle. the lion, the person, the Aquarius, and the bull, right? The woman representing represented by the Aquarius represented by the woman, right? And with the world, it's like nothing can stop it. It's completed, right? There's nothing you could do to stop it. On my podcast channel, I made a whole video about the world because I literally had this experience with the world. So they were letting me know that I had came to the end of a journey. So it looks like you're going through the same thing, right? Right now in like yeah, maybe right now during April, right? So that's pretty interesting. The world, right? So let's see what you completed, right? What was it that you learned? What was all this knowledge that you gained? Wow. Maybe you were stubborn about the past regret, scarcity, maybe, because in starting something new, right? We wonder, like, let's say you're starting a new job, right? So you're worried about your finances, this and that. So maybe, obviously in a relationship, you might be thinking, like, oh, am I going to meet someone again or this and that? So obviously a scarcity mindset. So in anything, when starting something new, obviously, right? Like hoarder, right? You don't want to let go of things. Control, saving money. Capricorn, right? That's funny. That is really funny. So I guess that's kind of what you completed. Hopefully, it seems like you learned your lessons, right? You learned your lessons, so you completed that journey, right? You hopefully stop being stubborn, and it's interesting because all those fixed signs have a sense of being stubborn, right? It's harder for the fixed signs to let go of things, right? They hang on to things longer than the other signs, right? Obviously. Um, and obviously there's an upside, right? Obviously, the fixed signs look for stability, right? So where other signs might have less stability, fixed signs usually take comfort in being stable. So, obviously with that, I guess the negative traits are like being overly stubborn, right? But that's pretty interesting. So it looks like you overcame this, or you're still in the process of it. So take that advice, if that's what you need to let go of to complete this world in this month, right? In April. Maybe you're literally going through it right now. So what else does Cancer need to know for the rest of April? What? Oh, Seven of Cups, Scorpio, fellow water sign. It came out in the world as well, right? Multiple choices, confusion, ideas, imagination, new projects, illusions, indecision. So maybe right now you're in that process, right? You completed something and now you're like, which way do I go, right? Which is always a confusing time, right? With new beginnings. So obviously with choices, you gotta kind of just, I get it. In life, we don't want to make the wrong choice, right? So, okay. Any advice for guess Cancer? What is some advice that they should look to, right, when making these kind of choices? Obviously, the choice is yours, right? So don't just rely on tarot to be like, oh, well, the tarot cards told me to do this. I mean, does it have to do with relationship things? I don't know. You got the Knight of Swords, quick communication, rapid action, harsh words, reckless, intelligent, confident. So, what is it about that? All right, let me clarify that because maybe when you decide, you just got to do it quick before maybe you got to kind of surrender to the Gemini energy, right? Or call on Gemini energy show you how to, to show you how to, start something, right? To show you how to jump into something, right? Maybe you're going to have to step into that energy, right? My phone started going off and it's like one of those scam likely, so I'll take that as a sign that because that's weird, right? They just started calling right now. But look at, see, Page of Pentacles, new opportunity, student, new idea, a solid message. So maybe that, right? Something comes in and you just gotta kind of take rapid action towards it, right? Once you get that spark, then you start moving towards it, right? But planning, obviously, it says planning. Maybe something that was a hobby, you'll realize is more, see, because it says hobby. Maybe something that was a hobby might not all of a sudden be like, you know what? I actually did. Yeah, I said it was a hobby, but maybe I really always did want to do that. Maybe that it really is. I said it was a hobby because I didn't want to believe it was possible, but obviously, if that's your passion, yeah, because look at this stuff. Oh, and it's your energy, Cancer. So what happened? Are you afraid of being bored, unhappy, not getting what you want? Imaginary conflict. That's interesting. I don't know. That one's kind of or is that what you got out of boredom? Clarify Four of Cups. It's interesting because that's Cancer. Maybe you're afraid of repeating the same cycle, right? Maybe in the past you thought something was for you, you were excited about it, then it didn't go the way you planned. So maybe you're afraid that maybe that's why you're procrastinating, right? You don't want to, you're afraid that something will turn out the same. You'll make a wrong choice again or something. But see, I guess it's good. Like, like lately I've been seeing 777 everywhere, right? So that's too many cards. I got I've been seeing 777 everywhere. And I was kind of up in my head about like, man, am I going the right way? But the 777 is always like, yeah, you're on the right track, right? So, God, these cards are just, they're not giving me this. Okay. So clarify Four of Swords. I mean, Four of Cups. Clarify for, wow, the Fool. Okay. So that's it. Just stepping with a leap of faith, right? You gotta have, you gotta just take a leap of faith. New start, entrepreneur, risk taker, leap of faith, eccentric, free thinker. So Pisces and Aquarius. So your fellow water sign. Zero right at the beginning. And what? Wow. What could be more fitting? The last, completing one thing, boom, starting the next, right? However it looks on the screen. From the world to the Fool, right? So that's perfect, right? Obviously, you completed something, you got to start a new journey. That's just the way it goes, right? You're starting a whole new journey. So that's beautiful, right? So I think that's perfect. Let me pull one from the wisdom of the elders. So you just got to have that leap of faith. What was the first card that came out? Oh, healing, right? Complete your healing, do what you got to do, right? Maybe you haven't ended something yet and you're about to complete by the end of April. You're going to complete this cycle and then you could start your new journey, right? So, any last message from the wisdom of the elders? Bam. Fall. I don't know. Maybe by the fall, you'll start feeling more stable, right? Maybe right now it just seems like, yeah, you're kind of, you're up in your head too much about, you don't know which direction you're gonna go, but maybe by the fall you'll start feeling a little more stability, right? So let's see. 23 fall. Okay, stability. Yeah, let me just put so I can read it faster. As summer fades into fall, the nights become longer and leaves begin to change. There is a transition that takes place in the summer months. We had a focus on in the summer months. There is a transition that takes place. In the summer months, we had a focus on the physical world, and now that focus is being redirected towards our inner selves. Autumn coincides with a more self-reflective cycle in the year and is associated with the element of water. That's you, right? Water. In the same way a river knows where to flow and direct its attention, we must do the same. Fall is a time to gather resources for the coming winter, and there is a need for preparedness not only for the uncertainty of bad weather, but through the hardships we may face in life. Fall is found in the west direction of the medicine wheel and symbolizes the importance of emotional balance. The element of water runs deep and reminds us to go with the flow in life rather than to continually swim upstream and to be mindful of our emotional selves so that we can have our prayers answered and achieve great things. If you have drawn this card today, you might need to focus on your emotional side. There might be aspects of your life that have become unbalanced. Only when we find balance within ourselves can we truly cope with the difficulties we face in life. If you are currently facing barriers and feel like you are swimming upstream, you need to swim with the current rather than against it. So, yeah, right now is the time to, and maybe that's part of the healing, right? Just go with the flow, understand what you're healing from. Right now, when I was reading that again, my heart just kind of lit up. Um, I don't know if it was more like a regardless, right? Whether it was like there is a sadness, something that's healing, something that's mending. So, you know, just take the time to heal, right? I felt that with my heart again. I felt it in the beginning. I felt it now, right? So, obviously, the water, a lot of emotions. So, yeah, Cancer, just take that time to heal. Hopefully, that resonated. Let me know. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if anything resonated. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And like I said, I'll do a full moon reading soon. All right, peace.